Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
Good morning? Yes! Game Over Edmonton is live on the Game Over network. Not after the Game 5, not immediately after Game 5, but we are live the morning after. It's Avry here with Ash. We are recapping Edmonton's 3-1 win to take a 3-2 series lead. A strong performance, easily Edmonton's best win of the series. Before we go to our ad read, just your quick reaction to Edmonton coming back from being 0-2 down to now up in this series 3-2.
Dude, like, all I know is that I'm very happy. All of my friends are very happy. And a dear wish to anyone out there who is an LA Kings fan, because man, this sucks. This is really rough for people who are LA Kings fans. But it's not rough for us. We had one of the best playoff games, the Oilers, in like straight up in like modern NHL history. That was like just a complete domination from all sides of the game. And if you're an Oilers fan, you couldn't wish for anything more. So it's a good day. It's a good day today.
Yes, it is. And you know what also is great? Tapping in to Hyperdrive Hockey. Shift into Hyperdrive and get ready to have some fun with your new news source for all the biggest stories in hockey. Bring a unique style of broadcasting and commentary with a Quebecois flavor. Hyperdrive Hockey combines top-tier hockey analysis, big stories, pop culture, and a fun atmosphere that will drive debate, make you think, and more. Join Max Van Hoot, Daphne Malbouf, and Kevin Larme every Monday and Thursday for your fill of the hockey world. Watch on YouTube on the Game Over Network channel or subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or Amazon. And make sure you head to our website, thegameovernetwork.com, for more. All right, getting back into things here into Game 5. And once again, actually, surprise of nobody. This game started off where, I mean, yes, Edmonton got the bit more chances, but the fact that the Kings struck first, that is a thing that shocked nobody. Edmonton started this entire series coming from behind, no matter if they have 5 shots in a period, no matter if they have 20 shots in a period like they did in the first period.
Yeah.
It just seems to be destined that some way, somehow, LA is going to strike first and blow that lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, this goal, like this first goal, it is on the power play. The LA Kings power play has been very, very good, or the Oilers penalty kill has been very, very bad. Who exactly you want to blame that on is kind of hard to say. I think outside of like Kempe, the Kings power play has been like whatever. I really think it's the Oilers penalty kill. It's not very good. But if you're gonna talk about like first goals, like in a series with yes, there have been a lot of missed calls on both sides, but there also have been a lot of penalties and a lot of power plays given to both teams. And the Kings have just been absolutely dominant on the power play. I think, of course, like the Kings are gonna get like these like first like power play goals like all the time, a lot in these games, especially if you're gonna call penalties in the first period. But if all they can do is play special teams, all they can do is score on the power play. They're just power play merchants, like everyone said of the Oilers, like for years and years. Then I think, of course, they're going to blow leads because they can't play 5-on-5. And we saw it in this game. They quite literally could not play the game 5-on-5. It was all Oilers all the time.
No, it was. That was where Edmonton thrived no matter what. And the thing is, too, is that you saw it wasn't just your first line. It was all 4 lines rolling through, finding ways to get chances.
Yeah, it was incredible. Like how great the lines were this game. Oh my, you could make an argument that the most underwhelming line was McDavid, Draisaitl, Perry, which in a game that dominant, that we're like, yeah, whatever, McDavid, Draisaitl just like kind of like pretty good or whatever, where everybody else, it's actually like stunning. Like ever since, it really does feel like ever since like that third period of Game 4, everyone in the Oilers just decided, hey, we're like a really good team. we can like play really good hockey, and then everyone on the team is playing their absolute mind out. It's actually like it's so amazing to watch. I've never been happier watching like the Oilers depth players. Like these guys are incredible. They're absolutely incredible.
This is my mind. This was probably one of their better team games, no matter if regular season or postseason this year. This was a game that saw them have a total buy-in.
Yeah, I mean, I would go this far. Like, yeah, the score's only 3-1. One of them was an empty net goal. I would go as far as say this is probably the best game the Oilers have played all year. I think straight up, like, I think the only thing that the Oilers could want more is maybe a few more goals in a game where they already won, and maybe to not let in that one goal on the penalty kill. But outside of that, I don't think I've ever seen an Oilers team where all 18 skaters were this good, and like our goalie, like Calvin Pickard, was also like really good. And just everything was clicking, everything was working, and it just felt like the Kings have already lost in their minds ever since Evan Bouchard tied that game. The Kings have, I feel like everybody in the LA Kings organization has just decided, yep. Well, see you next year, I guess, because they're not here. They're gone. They haven't played hockey since. Where are they?
It is wild, and it goes back. I do think this really goes back to, again, Game 3, the failed challenge of Vander Kane's goal, the Bouchard game winner, and then Game 4, we see the Kings fall apart again. And post-game, it was funny to see Jim Hiller go at it with Dennis Bernstein from the fourth period, where Dennis asks a totally valid question in terms of how do you change your approach closing out games? A valid question, because that's 2 games in a row where LA has fallen apart in the third period, and Jim Hiller goes on the defensive and snaps at Dennis. To me, that's a coach that has lost his ability to game solve or solve problems in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I really do think Jim Hiller has kind of like lost the plot. I mean, how many games in a row has the LA Kings like cut the bench to 13 skaters while they have the lead? Mm-hmm. While they have the lead, like it's not even like they're like behind and trying to get it. Like they're like, okay, so we have the lead. We've been dominating all game, so we're gonna start playing with a short bench. I mean, last game, they had 3 forwards and 2 defensemen who just played like a minute total in the entire game. Today, those people played about 5 minutes, which is like, holy fuck. Alex Turcotte played 5 minutes. That's so good. You can't run a roster like this. You can't run a bench like this in the playoffs. No wonder this team looks gassed. They look out of it. I don't know. I like it. I don't know. I think that this is just terrible coaching. This is an absolute disaster class from Jim Hiller right now, who at the start of the series, I thought was coaching very, very well. It's crazy to go from him like almost like single-handedly winning the series in terms of his decisions in game 1 and 2. Well, I guess like game 1, like half of game 1 and game 2. And then he has completely lost the game all by himself in games 3, games 4. And I don't even think he lost the game in game 5. I think the Oilers just absolutely dominated them.
Yeah, no, they absolutely did. And we saw in this game, we saw someone who beforehand I had said, he talked about stepping up, he's ready. Evander Kane, I'll give full credit. He has shown to me now that, yes, he's engaged, he's ready to make an impact. And once again, he steps up, gets a massive goal in this game to tie things up in what was basically a rugby scrum in front of the net, in front of Darcy Kemper. He puts it away with a wrister. And at that point, you could just feel in Crypto.com Arena, you could just feel the air come out of that building when that game was tied, Ash.
Oh my God, yeah, that sequence, because like up until this point, yes, it has been all Oilers in a way that's like really shocking. But it's also in that kind of way where it's like, okay, well, if the Kings get the next one, and the fact that it's been all Oilers, like if the Kings take a 2-0 lead, like that's really deflating, and that might put the Oilers out of it. But no, Evander Kane, like this whole sequence is crazy. This whole sequence is actually crazy. Like Zach Hyman's banging away at it. Jake Wallman like takes a good pinch, in my opinion, to step up, and try and like make something out of this scramble. But the puck pops out, and Oh my God, this assist by John Klingberg, who I thought and you thought was washed, was
Yep.
his career was over. His like stint in Toronto was like a disaster. We just thought that he was too injured to play. It was his hips. Players can't come back from that. But he skates, he works hard on this puck to keep it in, and he gets it to Evander Kane, who's wide open for the open shot. Oh my God, I am so sorry I've ever doubted you. We have 2018 John Klingberg on this team, and he's playing on our second pairing. Oh my God. Like, is that not just like the greatest thing? Like, as an Oilers fan, we have like Kane is playing the best hockey he's ever played in an Oilers jersey. We have John Klingberg, who's playing some just outstanding hockey right now. We have Jake Wallman, like on that top pair, and they're just working so hard. It's so nice. It's so good. Yeah. Like this is like the best news ever for an Oilers fan. We have never ever really in the playoffs been this happy with how well everyone on our team is playing. This is like best case scenario. This is actually best case scenario. Can you imagine saying this was best case scenario? Like after game 2? Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I would not have believed it. And you're actually seeing the healthier this team gets, it's actually making a difference now. I mean, yes, health is a big thing, but you're seeing that, guys talk about it, and some people might say, yeah, whatever. No, you're actually seeing an impact now in Edmonton where guys are coming back, guys are actually recovering, and guys are stepping up now after return to the lineup. It's been a major help.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at obviously we've been talking about Kane and Klingberg. Look at Zach Hyman, double-digit hits in back-to-back games.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that is
that's really good. Trent Frederick looks better and better every game. He still looks like a little slow, a little injured sometimes, but he's looking better and better every game. And I really liked his line, him, Henrique, and Brown this game. I thought that was a really good third line. I've always kind of criticized Chris Knobloch for kind of like some of his line decisions, but today I loved these lines. I really, really did. I thought he did great work, and I mean, like the results show it. Like they were absolutely insane out there, all of them.
No, they were. And going through the rest of the scoring here in the game, someone who, again, on this show and in many worlds we have been on before, Mattias Janmark gets his second goal of the postseason, a game winner on a sequence that saw Arvidsson get the puck, started by Podkolzin. Janmark gets the game winner, new drew the empty netter. To see Mattias Janmark step up, I mean, some playoff magic is left in his stick still, Ash.
Oh no, 100% playoff Janmark. Like, he made a quote, like he was like, yeah, I don't like game 70 and I hadn't scored like a real goal. I was like, you know what? Okay, I take it, I get it. This is gonna be an off season for me, and man, he's shown up in these playoffs. Like this play, again, this all starts from Jake Wallman doesn't get credit with the assist, but oh man, this all starts with him because it's the puck behind the Oilers net. It's kind of like a breakout like pass. It's like a shot up. And it gets like stopped by a Kings player, but I think it's Podkolzin who picks it up and starts to rush. It's a 3-on-2, and it's just like even on a goalie who's just absolutely hot, absolutely isn't letting anything in, like Darcy Kemper is tonight. You can't like this play, where it's a rebound on the rush to the guy on the opposite side of the net. You just can't stop that. And Janmark doesn't like waste any time, puts that in. It's just it's textbook like rush attack. It's perfect from our third line. It's just it's just absolutely wonderful, and it's great to see Podkolzin and Arvidsson get some points too. Obviously, it's great to see Janmark but again, this is just like another really great offensive shift from a line that's not McDavid Draisaitl. Like this is just absolutely wonderful.
No, exactly. That's been the big thing is that, of course, people still like to push idea it's a two-man team. But again, LA is on the ropes from efforts from everybody else but McDavid and Draisaitl. If you're an LA Kings team, that's going to be so deflating to know that, yes, for a game, you're able to neutralize our top line, but you're still down 3-2 in the series.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that they neutralized the top line and then they had the by far the worst game, not of the series, but might be one of the worst playoff games in the last decade. There's a reason why they look like they are mentally like lost. They've already started golfing. Like that's just I get it. I get it. It's rough. It's hard out there.
Oh,
Rough playing this team.
Right? And you know what isn't hard? Helping out the Game Over Network Patreon. Looking for ways to help an upstart media company employing over 30 young journalists and analysts across Canada? If you got a few spare bucks kicking around, you can head to our Patreon page at patreon.com/the Game Over Network. There you'll find multiple tiers featuring different rewards and goodies for helping us grow. There's extra access, looks behind the scenes, Discord benefits, merchandise discounts, opportunities to give us feedback, and you can join us for special shows live. You can interact with our hosts as we launch more ways to improve your experience. And hey, we know sometimes times can be tough. If you can't spare a few bucks, we got a free tier, so you can still join in on the fun. And if you really want to help us out, make sure to click like and subscribe on YouTube, rate us 5 stars on your favorite podcast app, and share our work on social media. That's patreon.com/the Game Over Network for tantalizing goodies. All right. Second period time here on Game Over Edmonton, a unique show airing in the morning on the game after. And now, Ash, going into Game 6, Edmonton's chance to knock out the LA Kings for the 4th year in a row. We mentioned briefly, Calvin Pickard got to start again, and I think it's safe to say that this team is going to go with Pickard and give him that net until it isn't his anymore.
Oh, I mean, Calvin Pickard, like, you can feel better for the guy. Like, you really, really couldn't. Mark Spector. Okay, sorry to talk about Mark Spector. Like, this guy is like so condescending. He asked kind of like this a little bit of the same sentiment that I'm here, but he's just like he just goes up to like Calvin Pickard after the game and asks him like, so you've never been like a starter before, and now you're like the starting goaltender in the playoffs. Like, what's that like? And it's just like the way he asks it is like so like, why would you say that, man? But oh my God, Calvin Pickard is like you love to see it. 927 in game 4 save percentage. Wow. From Oilers goalie in the playoffs. Tonight, 955. It's so good. The only thing I think, in my opinion, that Calvin Pickard struggles with, and he struggles a lot with it, is that he's very bad on the penalty kill. They always say you're a penalty killer. Your number one penalty killer is your goalie, and Calvin Pickard is very bad 4-on-5. But other than that, this guy is playing just as like he looks confident. He just looks great out there. He quite literally just like looks like a starting goaltender. And so I just bet so many Oilers fans are just so relieved. The Oilers, like, for some reason, always play more confident, more ready to play under Calvin Pickard. And I mean, you know, he's going to go into Game 6, and I think he's going to give just another one hell of a performance. And I'm excited to see. I can't wait to see it.
You know, right now, Calvin has been. You're right. No, on the penalty kill, it hasn't been great, but you know, on the power play or at 5-on-5, Calvin has been a solid netminder. Hasn't allowed too many 10-bell chances for the Kings. And what I mean, we saw in 2-on-1s, we saw in breakaways, Pickard stepping up, making big saves, keeping Edmonton in this game, or keeping things tied, or keeping the lead. And that's gonna be frustrating when, I mean, any other year, most teams would think, yes, we've chased the starter, we've chased Stuart Skinner, they have to now start Pickard. The fact that they are now getting shut down by Pickard has to be demoralizing for the LA Kings franchise once again.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only thing I think the LA Kings can kind of look to is the fact that Darcy Kemper was the only one who showed up to the arena today. That guy, oh my God. There's a reason in that 2022 like off season where everyone was like, oh my God, there's so many goalies on the free agent market. There's like Jack Campbell, and there's like Samsonov, also one available too, and Darcy Kemper. There's a reason why Darcy Kemper, like, people were like, yeah, anyone who knew anything, like anyone who just like took a look at like stats or anything like that, they're like, yeah, Darcy Kemper is like the only guy Don't spend money on anybody else. Go after Darcy Kemper. That is the guy. You saw it tonight. I mean, that there's a reason that guy won a cup, right? He's a really good goaltender. A lot of private models. I mean, he got nominated for the Vezina. I think he was like which I'm happy that he got nominated. A lot of private models, like statistical models, and some public ones too, but mostly all the private ones had him like as like the second. I think one even had him as like the best goalie in the league over Connor Hellebuck, which is a very funny thing to think when you look at the state of both of these series right now. But yeah, Darcy Kemper, man, oh man, what a goalie. What a goalie.
Right. Yeah, no, he definitely was someone that would have looked great in orange, blue, and white. Didn't happen, but it is what it is. And again, it's funny. It's how a second year in a row, and then Edmonton Oilers team has a top goaltender struggling in terms of, yes, he's the only guy there, but you're seeing how they're leaving him the only guy out there, right? I mean, and even two, we saw a chance where one thing I've noticed in this series, Ash, is that Kemper is having trouble catching certain shots. A lot of shots are bouncing off of him, coming back up for rebounds. And this usually, You're right, and he's usually very stable-headed goalie, a Vezina nominee, but you're seeing he's allowing a lot of rebounds, a lot of second opportunities, and that's hurting him in net.
Yeah, and that's kind of like one of my friends was pointing this out. That's kind of uncharacteristic for Kemper, who is usually one of the premier goalies in terms of like rebound control. But in this game, it's like the Oilers had a lot of 2-on-1 chances, and a lot of them came on rebounds. I mean, the second goal, like that's just rebound. That's just rebound all day. There's another one. I think it was Draisaitl McDavid 2-on-1, and the rebound is just slightly too far forward for Draisaitl to get a good shot, and he like passes. Maybe it was on the power play. It was either the power play or 2-on-1, but there were just so many really nice rebounds. And normally the Oilers, every Oilers fan can attest, whenever the Oilers get into like a big scrum in front of the net, it's like at a certain point you kind of stop getting excited because you're like, that like the Oilers just can't put any rebounds in the net at all. But no, they actually like, they only get like one goal off of it, but that's more than they usually get. So you know what, good for them. So it was pretty good. Yeah,
no, it's true. And one thing I did want to point out is that this team, again, probably should have had more than 3 goals. One thing that this team I do think has to cut back on is the constant need to pass the puck into the net, Harlem Globetrotters it in, because you saw sometimes where a guy like McDavid would they take one too many passes, or he's got to go around the net, or you'll see someone at the point take one too many passes. That's the one thing that Edmonton, I think, still needs to cut back on, is the need to get that highlight reel goal. You don't always need that. Just put more pucks. They got almost 50 shots on Kemper, but still, there's still things to correct in that sense of not every goal needs to be a highlight reel.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, you see that most, like, obviously in Zach Hyman and John Klingberg. I think those two just put the puck on the net just because they can. John Klingberg will literally shoot the puck and like try to get a shot on goal from the red line. That guy is so funny. It's actually like hilarious. There was a time, I think it was in, like the third period of Game 4, where he literally tried to Darcy Kemper wasn't expecting it, and the rebound was like right there, and it was like literally a wide open net if an Oilers player was like that much closer to where the puck was. Goalie, like, this is like sometimes they're just like not like expecting you to shoot the puck, even though like they have like a clear vision on you. And I mean, we have a lot of really good net front players. We have Corey Perry, who, oh my God, Corey Perry, he's on the first line and he's 39. It's so funny. We have like Zach Hyman. We have people like Podkolzin. We have people like Janmark. We have like a lot of people who are very happy to just dig and go crazy in front of the net. And I think the Oilers could probably use a little bit more of that.
Yes, no, I completely agree 1,000% with that. And in this game, also had one of the strangest sequences you'll ever see when this game was tied up at 1. We saw that scrum in front of the net, and Quinton Byfield literally dives on the puck, covers the puck in the crease. That's supposed to be a penalty shot, and scoops the puck back out of the crease. Completely missed by the officials. Completely missed.
Like that was. I felt like I was like going crazy. I felt like I quite literally felt like I was the only person who saw that. It didn't even feel like the Oilers were like it didn't even feel like they knew, because like it was just so obvious. Like he didn't even just like swat it away with his hand, which is like I mean, okay, it's kind of on the line. He closes his fist over the puck and throws it out. Dog, that's literally the rule. That is the rule. And they don't, I don't know. It's crazy. They also didn't call that like, oh man, if the LA had somehow, which I mean, there was no way because they did not play good this game, but also the Oilers 6-on-5, the Oilers 5-on-6 defense just looks like really good. But oh man, if they tied it, I would have been so mad about that. Who was it? Was it Brant Clark who just straight up cross-checked? Oh, who was it? Evander Kane into the net. I can't remember who it was. Was it Kane?
It was Kane. Yeah.
Oh my God! Like it was the most obvious. Like you can't do that. Like it's not even like, oh, that's a cross-check. That's an interference. That's straight up like you can't do that penalty.
Like that to me.
They don't call it.
That's what I hate about the NHL. How we go to understand to a level of, we don't want to call everything. We don't want to call too much ticky-tacky stuff. At the same time, though, there's a rule book, your officials, and blatant violations like that have to get called. That's a penalty every single day. I don't want to hear about, oh, well, we can't call that. We didn't call this. It's like, it's the playoffs. You have a rule book. And when it's that blatant, when you are looking at it, and I'll feel the same way for violations against the Oilers or the Kings, when something that egregious happens in front of you, and you just close your eyes? No, what are you doing? What are you doing, dog?
It's so... There is an entire metagame that, especially in the playoffs, that literally arises out of gaming how like afraid the refs are of affecting like the outcome of a game. Like you see, like sometimes like if there is a delayed penalty called, you might as well take another one, because what are they going to do? Call a 5-on-3? They would never do that. The refs would never call a 5-on-3 in the playoffs. Everybody knows that. So you might as well trip and hack and slash and do whatever you want. And same thing, when you're one goal behind, might as well trip and hack and slash and do whatever you want and like cross check, punch someone in the face. Who gives a fuck? Because why would they ever call a penalty when you're losing in the third period? That's not hockey. That's not what the NHL wants.
It's so dumb.
It's just they just ignore the rule book, and so you have an entire meta game, and even GMs this year, because there is a lot less penalties being called this year. And I remember reading, I think it was a Elliot Friedman article after the Board of Governors meeting, and he was like, every GM in the league is like, why is there less penalties? Like, why are we not calling penalties? And this, by the way, was in February. And people in February were like, where are the penalties? Where are they?
Oh my God. Like, someone is going to get screwed in a cup final game because an official is too afraid to blow the whistle. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh my gosh. You know what you shouldn't be afraid of? You shouldn't be afraid to follow us on social media, because that's a place you can get a lot of news, follow your hosts, and just keep up to date in general on what's happening on the Game Over Network. You're enjoying the show, right? You want some more of this? Well, make sure you hit the like button on this video, click subscribe on our channel, and make sure you tap in to all of the shows. So, hey, hit the notification bell so you know when we're live next with Game Over in any city. If you're tapping into our podcast, please give us a 5-star rating, or if you're so inclined, leave a positive review. And hey, if you really enjoy us, make sure to follow us on your favorite social media platforms. You can find the Game Over Network on Blue Sky at thegameovernetwork.com, on TikTok and Twitter at Game Over NHL, on Instagram, Threads, LinkedIn at Game Over Network. You can find me on Twitter at Avry. You can find Ash on Twitter at Ash Jubilee. You can find us both on Blue Sky under the same names. you can find us on the GameOverNetwork.com, where you can sign up for our upcoming newsletter. All right, as we coming to the close now after a period of time here on Game Over Edmonton. And now, going into Game 6, Ash, if you're the LA Kings, it's bad enough that this team is down 3-2 in the series. But you're now going back to Edmonton. You're going back to one of the more, yes, LA is hostile in its own sense, but Edmonton, we've seen this entire series has been, I would say, when it comes to hostilities, number 1, Montreal, number 2, Edmonton, in terms of places you don't want to go back to being down 3-2.
Ottawa? Sorry. I'm really sorry, Kyle. I'm really sorry for that one. I didn't mean it. I promise.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. But I was thinking about bringing this over earlier in the show. If you're a Kings fan, and you're a Leafs fan, I think you two are kind of going through it right now. I think it's hard to say because the Kings fan is in the worst position in terms of like the series, and the Leafs fan is in a better position given that the Leafs are up 3-2 and the Kings are down 3-2. But I think the Leafs, if they lose that series, I think that's going to be a lot more painful for them. But like I think, but right now both Leafs and Kings fans are in like very like. They're not happy, and I can't really blame them. It's sometimes hockey is a very cruel sport, and right now they're not being kind to these two fan bases right now.
No, they are not. And even though I'm sure our friends at Game Over Toronto will calm down the Leaf fan base, but man, I'm just thinking right now that is a fan base that is praying and hoping that this does not go to a Game 7.
No, oh my God. Yeah, that's true. It would be the most reasonable crash out of all time, though, if it happened. I think Leafs fans should be allowed to do whatever they want if that happened.
Hey, either way, we'll have that crash out covered here on the Game Over Network. And looking at Edmonton now, in this series, going back now to Edmonton in Game 6, I do want to say one of the funniest things about Edmonton is that I hate them. I'm not a fan of Donaire. It was the fact that it was so apropos, the analogies from when this team was down in Game 4, because I don't know if you saw the tweet from Tyler Remchuk, how they had the Donaire cannon when things were going poorly.
Yeah, and it like exploded. Yeah.
Yes, it was the perfect description of how that game went wrong, and then things started to turn around. So I don't know if they're gonna bring that back for Game 6, but I'll say it's
exploded Donaire cannon on a new section.
Hey, I would be furious if I go to a game and the Donaire explodes on me. I'd be so mad.
Yeah, what if that's like the turning moment? I'd be like, you know what? I wouldn't even ask for my money back. You know what? That's kind of 50-50. I'll take the victory. If we need to sacrifice a few fans to to the Donaire cannon, I'm down.
That is what's funny that isn't even the first time it's happened. I don't know if you remember the skills competition this year. They let Calvin have the Donaire cannon, and when he fired it, Donaire exploded as well too in the skills competition game night.
That's so funny.
I don't know who's rapping or who's preparing it, but that's twice now you've sprayed fans in sweet sauce and lettuce. Cut it out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So now going into Game 6, I do want to say that I know he had a tough Game 1. I do feel bad for Jeff Skinner because he has now been healthy scratched the rest of the series, and I'm wondering if Edmonton gets out of this round, they'll face either Vegas or Minnesota. Does Jeff Skinner get a game to redeem himself? Because I still think Jeff Skinner should find a way back to his lineup into a round 2 matchup against either the Golden Knights or the Wild.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really difficult right now to argue that Trent Frederick should come out of the lineup, because I think he's the only person that I would be taking out of the lineup right now for the Oilers. I still think I would prefer to see Jeff Skinner, because I think that the Oilers have very few. Like the Oilers are a very good puck possession team. They're a very good team in terms of expected goals. They've got a lot of really good defense. Despite the discourse, people who don't watch the Oilers and only see Evan Bouchard when he plays with Darnell Nurse, people who just like repeat Oilers talking points from previous years say that the Oilers defense, but specifically this year, the Oilers defense is significantly better than it has been. But the Oilers, they lack like pure shooters, people who can really score, especially with Arvidsson and Podkolzin not having Podkolzin, but Arvidsson having like a down year. It's hard to look at Trent Frederick, especially as him like getting better and recovering, to say that he should come out of the lineup. But I do think he should come out of the lineup for Jeff Skinner. I think Jeff Skinner deserves more than one game in the playoffs. I don't think he deserves to be healthy scratched. I've always loved him as a player, and I don't think he is the 13th best forward on the Oilers roster right now. I think he deserves to get some time in here, especially with Corey Perry playing on the top line. McDavid, Draisaitl, Perry. I like that line. There's nothing wrong with that, but Perry is not someone who can play 15, 20 minutes a night. Perry does kind of have like a hard cap on how many minutes he can play in the night, especially in the playoffs. And Jeff Skinner doesn't have that cap. And so I think that Trent Frederick can't play 20 minutes a night, can't play even 15 minutes a night. These are players, we have a few players that do have to have their minutes limited, not because of a coaching decision, but because of their conditioning, because of their injuries. And I think that having two of those players, one of them on the top line, is just a little riskier than I would like, especially going into this game 6 with an LA team that on the verge of getting eliminated again. What are they gonna do? Mikey Anderson special, anyone? That's my concern. And I also just think Jeff Skinner should be in the lineup anyway. So
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'll give a little insight, because I know they'll be cool with it, but I do want to give a funny point. So those who might know, I know a couple of Jeff's friends from media work and just through osmosis. They were actually in town. They were in town for Game 3 and Game 4, and they had to catch a red-eye flight back to Toronto during game 4. So they left in the third period and missed all of overtime. They missed the ending. They get to the airport to catch their flight.
Oh my God, that's so sad. And they came to Edmonton to watch Jeff Skinner, right?
Yes.
Aren't they like big Skinner? Oh man, I'm so sorry that we're sacrificing your friends to the Oilers gods so he can win. Tell them their sacrifice was not in vain.
Oh man, I was texting them afterwards, like, dude, you guys just missed the game of the postseason.
Yeah, would anyone have thought, by the way, that this Edmonton LA series would be the series of the postseason?
Right?
I mean, I think a lot of people were like, yeah, I mean, it's Edmonton and LA, kind of boring. I mean, that like LA is more exciting this year, and Edmonton's always exciting, but really, are we really going to be doing this again?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people kind of put this low on the excitement graph. But I think this is probably a top 2 series in the game right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, a lot of predictions were either Edmonton rolls through or LA rolls through Edmonton. I don't think people really saw. I don't think the masses really saw a back and forth series or games like this where they're this dramatic. I don't think people saw it happening either way. People saw it to be a very boring series for either the Kings or the Oilers. No one saw this happening, really, in terms of excitement.
Yeah, no, and it's kind of crazy because I don't know. The Oilers always deliver. The Oilers are very good storytellers, even if it means excellent and extreme pain for all of us involved. I think the Oilers are kind of masterful, kind of a masterful story in and of themselves. I would really love to make or I would love to see or make like a big story, kind of like cataloging like this the McDavid like roster since that draft lottery into like hopefully like an eventual Stanley Cup victory, allied like history of like the Mariners or history of the Falcons, like Dorktown-esque. I would love to see or make something like that, because I think that like this is a really good team in terms of storytelling, even if it means we have to suffer while the story is being told.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. Actually, this is a team that absolutely would be a great Dorktown story to just get into the intricacies of everything from, if you're not starting from the very beginning, starting from even like the McDavid draft and going through the players and who was there and what happened to get to this point. I think that would be very cool, because there's still a lot of this team story that is still untold or hasn't been dove into enough, I think.
Yeah, I know. I totally agree. And I mean, like that's kind of like always been like a passion project kind of in the back of my mind, because I've been watching these teams of the past few years, and like I think like a lot of people around the league kind of like look at these Oilers teams, and they look at McDavid and Draisaitl and they're like, man, why don't they have a cup yet? But they look at these series and they're like, wow, these are some of the best series like in hockey. I mean, like obviously LA, not LA, obviously like Edmonton, Florida, but like Edmonton, Vancouver, I think was one of the best series last year in terms of anybody like I'm not talking about like as an Oilers fan, I'm talking about as like a neutral fan for like good hockey. But you can also look at like previous Edmonton LA series or Edmonton Calgary, even though that was only 5 games. Like these are a lot of like really great and really entertaining series that the Oilers have been a part of. I don't know, this Oilers team always delivers. They're always at them. They're always at it.
Yeah, no, and as much as people do fairly come at the NHL for the playoff format, and how yes, it is boring. People want to see it go back to 1 versus 8. The one thing that this format has done, it has actually created some tension among certain teams, like Edmonton, LA. I do think now is actually a rivalry now. You're seeing actual tension between these teams, and to an extent, the fan base now by playing this much in a 4-year span.
Yeah, I like as an Oilers fan, I certainly hate these guys. My friend literally is like, I am calling the hit on Kevin Fiala every single night. That is all she can talk about, is how she wants to see Kevin Fiala taken care of. It's so funny. It's such a funny rivalry. But like if I was a Kings fan, I would fucking hate our guts. Oh my God, I would be so I couldn't stand it. I mean, I think like I wasn't around for hockey because I was not alive for a lot of these series. But like I think a lot of Oilers fans might be like reminiscent of Edmonton, Dallas at the like early 2000s, like late 1990s.
Yep.
Where I think the Oilers won the first one and then we lost 4 straight to Dallas. I think that was kind of like I think it's kind of in that mold, something like that. So I think Oilers fans, particularly those who are like 30 and older, probably remember those series, and they probably kind of know what it feels like to be an LA Kings fan right now.
Yeah, no, that's an apt comparison. I was a kid when Dallas was just stumping on Edmonton. So that's a very apt comparison. If you're a Kings fan right now, Edmonton is your boogeyman. It was great. It was compared by the guys on the Edmontoners podcast. They're saying how right now Edmonton is that LA boogeyman, where no matter what, no matter where you finish, no matter how your season goes, if you run into these guys, start packing things up, Gary, for next year.
Yep. No, 100%. Like I think it was Pete Blackburn. I actually can't remember who it was, but it was someone who was like, yeah, I think the LA Kings have to start aiming for a wild card and going to the Central.
At this rate, you might have to.
I think there was another good tweet from Dom who was like, yes. And the LA Kings have won the division, avoiding the Edmonton Oilers. And in the first round, they will be playing the 84-point up-and-comer Anaheim Ducks. I mean, it's just, that would just be never-ending pain if I was an LA Kings fan, dude.
Oh my gosh.
I was thinking about this, by the way, off little small tangent. I was thinking about this.
Yes.
The fact that the LA Kings and the LA Kings fans still have to watch Corey Perry in the playoffs. Dude, I think any LA Kings fans crash out would be like justified. Like Dude, they gotta watch Corey Perry again.
They just can't escape
Dude,
him.
I'm sorry, man. That sucks.
They couldn't escape him when he was in Anaheim. Couldn't escape
Nope.
him as a Dallas Star. Can't escape him now as an Edmonton Oiler. Like just he's still in their lives.
Oh man. It's rough out there. It's rough out there. Stay safe, Kings fans.
Right? And you know what all fans should do? They should hop on to the Game Over Network merchandise platform, because what better way to support something you love than by repping it on yourself? Game Over's apparel line has dropped with 3 unique designs. Whether you want to feel the nostalgic pull of our retro skater design, want to make a statement with our established design, want to wear your love for goalies proudly with our 11 die body goalie design, or if you just need another coffee, tea, or a toque to get you through the spring, summer, kind of weird, we got you covered. Designed by Brady Chalice from Game Over Winnipeg. Use the QR code on stream now and take a look through our apparel store and help us rebuild local sports media in Canada while repping your community. Okay, so overtime. So, 1 second. Oh, wrong one. Oh, I'm just going haywire right now. 1 second. Where's our... Oh, there we go. Okay, so no questions in the chat, Ash. I do want to ask just your final thoughts on the game and what you're looking for. What you looking forward to for Game 6?
I am looking forward to the. I'm such a hater. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say I was looking forward to just more punishment for the LA Kings. I mean, I'm just looking forward to just some great forward lines. I'm hoping McDavid undresses Mikey Anderson once again, and uses the fact that man is not a very good defenseman, despite what like Jim Hiller and LA thinks. I am looking forward to another good performance from Calvin Pickard, and I am looking forward to a playoff Emberson goal. That's what's going to happen. I'm feeling a playoff Emberson goal.
Ooh, a playoff at Ty Emerson goal. That would be fun. You know what? You know what I'm looking forward to? You know what I'm going to call now? I'm going to say Edmonton gets their first shorthanded goal of the series. They find a way to break on through Jim Hiller's 5-man forward unit. They get them napping. They figure out how to get through it, and they force the LA Kings to adjust and break through that 5-4 power play with a shorthanded goal on tomorrow night.
Yeah, the Oilers penalty kill, despite not being very good in terms of like killing the penalty, has had some good chances. I do like how, because the Kings power play to start the series was way better than it has been recently, even though it's still very, very good. But this penalty kill is a lot more aggressive, and I really like that. They had some shorthanded chances last game. Like, I think quite a few, actually. So I think a shorthanded goal is like totally like in the totally a possibility for this team.
Yes, it is. And hey, with that being said, that's all for Game Over Edmonton on a morning after Game 5. Edmonton wins 3-1. Game 6 goes down tomorrow night, 8 p.m. start on Sportsnet and TNT. We'll be back here again for post-game coverage for hopefully Edmonton getting the victory and moving on to facing either the Minnesota Wild or the Vegas Golden Knights. Until next time, we are out of here. Later.